everybody! So today we're doing the next in my entry of my Disney Canon rewatch that I've been doing, and we are looking at one of the worst in the Canon for sure, one of the hardest to watch, the notorious Chicken Little. And Chicken Little, you know, so this was their attempt to try to kind of be sort of like Pixar, try to compete with Pixar, their first fully CG animated film from Walt Disney. And it's interesting when you read Creativity Inc., Ed Catmull talks about how him and John Lasseter, when they went in to run Walt Disney, this was right when they were making Chicken Little, and he went in and everybody was just depressed and gloomy, and it was not an environment of creativity or an environment that was happy even. And I think you can kind of see that in Chicken Little because it's kind of a gloomy film. It's just not that pleasant to watch. And it's the old story, which we had a lovely short from back in the 40s of Chicken Little, and she, you know, says the sky is falling and nobody will believe her until that sky actually is falling. And so they take that and they start out with that sort of premise here in this CGI world. In this case, the name of the character is actually Chicken, last name Little, and which is not a very creative name for your child if you're a chicken. But I do have to say I like the design of Chicken Little. I think he is cute. I do. And he is very small, which makes sense because he's little, Chicken Little, and he's very smaller than everybody else. And one day the sky falls on him, like literally like a plate of the sky. And we learn later on that that's actually a part of the ship that the aliens have. And he runs around screaming and telling everybody in this village that the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Everyone thinks he's completely crazy. And to the point of like, in this version, in this movie, where they actually end up making a movie about him being crazy, which I don't know what kind of town this is, that they would spend that much energy and take something that a little child says so seriously. Like if I have a 8-year-old or 9-year-old elementary school, which I think that's what he's supposed to be, child, and they went around town saying, the sky is falling, the sky is falling, everybody would be like, go back home. Everybody is super mean, including the Chicken Little's father, Buck. And he is just such an unlikable character. He spends most of this movie completely embarrassed and mortified because of his son. And it just feels like awkward and uncomfortable, and you don't like this person, you don't want Chicken Little to be around him. He literally just hangs his head in shame most of the time because of his son. And then the other problem with Chicken Little is that it can't decide what kind of movie it wants to be. This first half, you've got kind of a bully narrative with some of the things that happen at school and also him dealing with his father. You've got that kind of story. And then the second part of the story is about this, he joins this baseball team because he wants to impress his dad, and he hits the big home run, and it's this like sports movie all of a sudden. And finally, like, his dad is excited or proud of him, but it's still like in a very kind of unloving way. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just so superficial. And then you have this final act, which is like an alien space kind of story. And they try to throw in this reconciliation between Buck and Chicken Little, and it feels completely false, completely unearned by the behavior of this character towards his son. And so, yeah, it's really just uncomfortable to watch. And they also have a million puns. Even the names of the characters are kind of puns. Like, there's a fish out of water is the character's name, and it is literally a fish with a fishbowl on his head. And that could be creative, but it just ends up becoming like, oh, they're not trying at all, you know, like with these jokes. And so they have the ugly duckling and runt of the litter. And of course, runt of the litter is huge and big, and it's just not that funny. It's just, And so all the jokes are just kind of like on the nose like that, and some of them don't really even make sense. Why, you know, you're thinking, why is this funny? I don't understand, you know, like, why is it funny that the ugly duckling keeps getting rejected and doesn't, because she's ugly? I don't know why that's funny. I mean, they do have a kind of a nice moment payoff with that. And yeah, just other stuff like there's this random scene where they're at a movie theater and they play Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is like a human movie. So like, what is going on? And so, you know, they do at least kind of throw a lot at the screen, and they do kind of try different things, but it's hard. Like, I'm gonna have to have a long debate within myself of whether Home on the Range or this is worse, because this is just so mean-spirited, which I don't think Home on the Range is. But I think they at least kind of were more ambitious in a way, and they tried more things with this. But whereas Home on the Range just seemed like completely miss. Also a great soundtrack to Chicken Little. Definitely spent a lot of money getting different songs. I like the Bare Naked Ladies song in here. That one's pretty good.
Intentions, a tablespoon of one big mess, a dash of overreaction, and I assume you know the rest. One little slip, one little slip, was a future of confusion with a few confounding things.
They have like an REM song, End of the World. That's pretty good. Also, the design of the alien ship is kind of cool, and also the design of the aliens is kind of cool. I actually think that last segment with the aliens is okay. It has some fun with it finally, but it's just a little too late for me. And so I definitely give Chicken Little an F. I don't really like it, but you know, if you like it, that's cool. But luckily we're gonna get out of this section soon, and we'll be back on to watching some better movies. So yeah, let me know what you think of Chicken Little. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Where are you at on it? And so that's my review. So thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you later.